Hi everyone, welcome to another LeadSquared webinar. I am Shibani Roy and I have sent you an email or two over the last 7 years or so. Thank you so much for joining another session. Today we are discussing customer connections and how to build them right. So essentially, what is the growth strategy for the business? This webinar is in association with MCube, who is our partner. Now, before I go into the speakers, let me tell you a little bit about what we will discuss in this webinar. We will go into understanding customer needs and preferences so as to deliver personal experiences. We will also talk about leveraging CRM and telephony solutions to streamline and enhance customer interactions. And we'll also talk a little bit about cross selling and upselling, how to really boost the company's share of the wallet. So with us, I have Navish and Arbaz. Navish is the enterprise sales manager at MCube. MCube is a leading provider of cloud telephony services that helps businesses drive growth and improve efficiencies. And with him, I have Arbaz, who is our regional sales manager at LeadSquared. LeadSquared is an end-to-end omni-channel sales execution and marketing automation platform. So with that, let's hear a little bit about our speakers. What do they like to do? A little bit about their experience. So Navish, I'll go with you first. Please tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Navish, and I'm thrilled to be here today to share my knowledge and experience with all of you today. With over 12 years of experience in the dynamic field of selling cloud telephony, I have witnessed particularly in communication technology and its impact on businesses. Throughout my career, I have uh, experience of working with various organizations through startups and enterprises, wherein I have managed to deliver and to communicate with the streamline their communication systems and drive business growth. I have witnessed closely how cloud telephony has revolutionized the way companies handle their calls, enhancing seamless connectivity, increased flexibility, and engaging with their customers. So during this webinar, I'm excited to share my insights and best practices with all of you today. I believe that by harnessing the power of cloud telephony, businesses can transform the way they communicate, collaborate, and engage with their customers. I'm passionate about helping the organizations unlock their full potentials in this digital era, and I look forward to an engaging and fruitful discussion with all of you today. And let's make this webinar a valuable learning experience with all of you today. Thank you so much, Shivani.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ravish. Arbaz, tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
All right. Not very experienced. I carry half the experience that Navish carries. I've been associated with LeadSquared for the last 6 years. I've worked both in customer acquisition and post sales. So I understand how important, imperative building strong customer connections is. And we'll discuss on the same on how we have built a strong customer relation and how everyone, the audience, can work on it, right?
Awesome. So we're going to hear a lot of tips, a lot of real experiences from both of our expert guests here. A quick note to the audience, we have our chat column open and our questions tab. So any questions that comes to your mind, please put it here. We want this to be a two-way conversational session. So anything at all comes to mind, please put it down here. We also have a couple of polls that we would be running. Please do spare a minute to respond to that. With that, I will jump off stage. Arbaz, Navish, all over to you.
Thank you, Shivani.
Thank you. Lovely. So, Navish, I want to start off with a question.
Please.
All right. So, building customer relationship is, of course, crucial to any businesses. We all know, but just like any other business, right? The ways to achieve this are changing, right? But
Right.
connections are still one of the most strongest pillars of any growing business, right? So when it comes to building customer relationships, what trends are you currently seeing, and how are organizations approaching it?
Good. So when it comes to the building the customer relationship, there are several trends that have been prominent in recent years. So you can see that the companies are increasingly focusing on personalizing their interactions with the customers. This
Right.
involves leveraging customer data to understand individual preferences, behaviors, and needs. By tailoring their offerings, recommendations, and communications, organizations can provide the relevant and targeted experience to the customer, particularly. So in that particular scenario, you can say that they are using the AI and the machine learning part as well, in terms of chatbots, in terms of what we say voice analytics and voice intelligence they were using to make more customer personalized experience in that shot, you can say. So other approach that you can talk about is the approach wherein the customer will have a choice to interact with the uh, company through various mediums or the various channels, is wherein customer has a choice whether from where they want to get it interacted, like whether they want to interact through website, through mobile app, or through social media campaigns, or through emails, or through voice calls. So so it depends upon, like the goal is to allow the customers to engage with the brand in their preferred channel and switch channels efficiently in that case to get the better personalized experience in that case. The other thing that we can talk about, like, is the sometimes what happens is, like, companies do not want that the customer should come up with their issues and the grievances. So nowadays companies what generally do is they accumulate the data, they collect that data, and on behalf of the, like, how many times the customer is called up on the support system IVR numbers, and automatically on behalf of that they try to select what exactly the customer pain points are, and on behalf of that they try to give them the best possible resolutions. So sometimes what happens is they use the AI chatbots as well, so that the customer can directly interact with the chatbots to give them their desired issues, so that team can proactively work upon it and get it sorted ASAP. So this is how we can increase the customer satisfaction level and can prevent negative experiences as well. So in that scenario, alternatively companies,
Right.
yeah, so in that scenario, alternatively companies are placing, like, increased emphasis on the capturing the analyzing customer feedback as well through various channels as well, so to get them the best possible experiences in that case, by analyzing the customer feedback through various analysis and leveraging technologies like what we say voice blast. Generally they do, they give us the chatbots as well. They just trigger emails, they just trigger social media campaigns as well, just to understand, and the online surveys as well, just to understand what is the behavior of the customer, and and by capturing those behaviors they start acting on it, like what exactly the issues they were getting, and trying to get it resolved ASAP. And
Right.
alternative, this enhances the product experience as well, because customer start feeling a trust on us, like, yes, I have told that particular issue, and that issue has been addressed by the organization, and they have started working upon it and delivering it in a stipulated time as well. So that is how I believe, like, customer experience can be enhanced in that particular instances as well. So
Right.
other part is, like, you can say is, like, nowadays organizations are more concerned about the data privacy, because generally either me or you have already encountered such kinds of questions, what about the data privacy. So organizations are focusing on the data privacy as well, and they are trying to make the robust data privacy structure, wherein there should not be any loopholes while in the data structure, and safeguarding the customer data as well, ensuring that trust between the customer and the organization to develop. So this is how I believe, like, customers can have a good relationship with the organizations, and for a long term, especially if I'll talk about. So this is how like we can build up the customer relationships as well.
Right. That was insightful, Navish.
Yeah, so apart from it, nowadays you can see, like, there are multiple technologies that the organizations have started using. AI chatbots that has been into the picture for the recent years that we have seen. Now you can see like the intelligence virtual agents are always available, wherein it will interact like a human being, and it will understand your queries, and as per your query, they will deliver you the best possible answers for you, the satisfactory answers you can talk about. And multiple companies are also using those technologies as well. They've started using in the recent years that we have seen. So this is
Right.
very insightful as well, and I believe that every organization, if these kind of things that every organization will follow, then I believe that every organization will have a good customer relationship, and it will drastically reduce the churning rates as well, if we will pamper the customer accordingly. Before they get into a trouble, we are resolving their queries as well. So that is something which is fruitful from them, for them as well, to build a long term relationship with the customer.
Right.
So
Great. Great, Navish. I
so
think the audience will agree to a lot of insights that you shared.
yeah. So this is now Arbaz. So I just
Yeah.
need to understand from you, like with the markets changing faster than ever, how are you keeping up with the connecting with your customers? What strategies or initiatives are currently in place to foster customer connection in your organization? Like what all tactics you guys are doing, like how to cope up with such kind of situations? So
I
if
mean,
you
that's the ultimate goal for any business, right? To have happy and satisfied customer who will stay or who will stick to us over a long time, right?
correct.
And why it is very important. I mean, you could be in a business of repeat customers. You could be in a business of retaining customers for both side for both the businesses, right? I mean, retaining customers or having repeat customers is very very important, right?
Correct.
And to because these days it's easier for any consumer or customers to switch from any brand, right? Switch from one brand to the other, right? Because consumers and customers are looking for experience, right? Experience that matches their expectations,
Correct.
right? Now, of course, I mean, few strategies and initiatives would be to be in regular touch, right, through different uh, omni-channel communication platforms, right? I mean, using automations to be in touch with your consumers or customers every very regularly, right? I mean, it could be weekly, it could be a fortnight, right? It could be monthly, right? And personalization, right? I feel personalization is really really important, right?
Correct.
And why I say so? Because if you look at Starbucks, right,
Mhm.
and if you look at Starbucks, they put a lot of emphasis on remembering their customer's name, right? So knowing and mentioning your customer's name sounds simple, right? But the gesture that it makes, that creates a big impact in building relationships, right?
Correct.
And there's a research, right? I mean, there's a research which says whenever a consumer or a customer hear their name, the experience is more memorable for them, right? You must
Correct.
receive a lot of emails, you must receive a lot of SMSs, text messages, right? Say, I
Correct.
mean, there's a message saying hi there or hi, right? I would not even read beyond that, right?
Correct.
But if there's a message or there's an email which says hi Buzz, I would be interested to understand. I mean, uh, what is the context, right? So
Correct.
personalization is very very important. Of course, then comes automation. So I'm lucky. I work for LeadSquared. We have automations and we regularly work on automating communications to our customers, to our prospects,
Correct.
right? And every now and then we also revisit these automations to probably, make them better, right? To give them more personalized touch, right? I mean, it could start with my interest. It could start with names, and then go to interest and budget and whatnot, right? So the level of personalization and automation uh, that we use, that has helped us tremendously in keeping in touch with our prospects, keeping in touch with our customers, and of course, there's a lot of social media marketing, social media engagement over different social media platforms, right? And then, of course, there are different geographies where different channels work, right? Not everyone has access to emails, or not everyone uses emails regularly, right? Where WhatsApp is very widely used. There are certain geographies where WhatsApp is expensive, right? And people don't use a lot of emails, right? So there are other platforms, like, say, for example, Facebook Messenger, there's Viber and whatnot. I'm talking about regions outside India, Southeast Asia, right? So platforms which are omni channel conversational, right? That helps.
Yeah. So particularly when we talk about the omni channel itself, so it gives us a lot of what we say, like it gives lot of relaxation to the customer, like where he or she wants to get interacted with, on which platform they want to get it interacted, or in which channel
Absolutely,
to get it interacted.
absolutely,
Sometimes what happens is like they are inquiring through mobile and getting the answers on the websites as well. So it is a customer choice where he or she wants to get interacted. So it
absolutely.
makes the experience very rich for the customer, like wherever they desire to interact with the brand, they can interact. In the traditional days, what happens is, if you have a website, then it is a website only where you can interact with the brand. But nowadays,
Correct.
due to the technological advancements, you can interact anywhere. You are free to interact anywhere. So
Absolutely.
it gives a personalized experience as well. And yes, rightly said, since you are a CRM company, since you are particularly storing the entire data with you, so it gives the personalized experience, apart from the customer, to the agent as well, who have the entire knowledge of that particular customer as well. So what happens is, like, if the customer inquired over the call as well, and but earlier they have inquired over the emails, website, chats, whatever it is, so agent have all the download stored into the CRM, wherein they do not have to customer do not have to repeat the questions again and again. They do not have to remind it again and again. So that is how the customer feels good, like whenever I call to any of the brand, so automatically they know, like, how many times I have inquired and for which purpose I have inquired. So the call
Right.
also goes into that fashion. Intelligent call routing goes into that fashion as well. That gives you the best customer experience as well. That is what I see.
Also, it's very important to understand your audience, right? If my target audience are students, or college going or school going individual or kids, right? I cannot target them on emails. I have to call them up directly on the mobile phones, reach out to them on WhatsApp, right? If I'm an e-commerce platform, I have to send them uh, personalized push notifications, right?
Correct.
You see how creative Zomato and Swiggy, these guys have become, right? The kind of personalized push notifications you get.
Correct. So what I believe is, like, if the customer satisfaction level is on the higher side, then this is something which is good for the organization to grow as well. But the trend generally sees that where the customer satisfaction is on the lower side, the organization chances of growing is on the lower side as well. So organizations are increasingly focusing on adapting the good customer experience as well. So
Right.
that is if you can talk about any of the organizations, they are more concerned about how their customers feels when they get onboarded with any of the brand. So they try to get them retained, they try to pamper them, they try to understand their requirements in terms of, like, what their needs and what their preferences are, how they behave, what's their organization behavior is. So these are the certain trends that are emerging into the market, and I'm sure that technology advancement will keep on evolving, and there are a lot of things needs to be done into the communication part, especially integrated
Right.
CRM itself. So that is what I believe, like in the coming years, like there are a lot of advancements that we are going to see, like the especially in the integration, along with the integration of the CRMs as well, like the whatever the conversations we are having right now over the call itself, and that get recorded, and the transcript will be automatically into the uploaded into the CRM itself, and on behalf of that transcript as well, you can analyze the sentiments of the customer, like what exactly their sentiments were. So
Correct.
and, the way they depending upon their purchase history as well, depending upon their number of interactions with the brand itself, on which product, on which issues they have interacted with. So this makes the experience of the customer on the good side as well, because the brand knows like what is the problem of that particular customer is, and then the customer and then the organization start approaching the customer to get those issues sorted in a stipulated time to make the customer happy. That
Right.
I have seen in multiple cases as well. So this is something good in that case. So keeping up with the evolving market technology, I understand that key customer building customer relationship is more important. And yes, obviously the technology, if the technology will be strong enough, that technology works on behalf of the customer, taking the points from the customer itself, adapting customers suggestions as well, then I think that company always grows. And I believe that key one of the companies that I was going through the biography of, like Zerodha as well. So they were
Right.
customer oriented company as well, rather than investing money into the marketing activities. They are more concerned about key our support system should be strong enough, rather than getting the larger sales team, because they feel that key, if our technology is strong enough, the customer will automatically come up for the supporting structure, they will demand something in it. So we'll have a little less sales team and the larger support team to make them understand the product. So I like that particular theory of.
Absolutely. Word of mouth travels much faster than we think, right? I mean, anyone with a good experience, they'll probably, I mean, go to 5, 10. There's no limit, right? I mean, you don't know the impact that you create on your customers, the experience that you give to your customers, consumers. I mean, that determines which direction the organization will grow, right? I mean, upwards or downwards, right? And with Zerodha, I mean, it has obviously been upwards.
Yeah. So in fact, like if I'll talk about another use case of ICICI Bank, so they were using intelligent voice assistants, basically intelligence virtual agent as well. In short, you can say. So what happens is, if you get a call, you will feel that you are interacting with the human itself, and they are capturing your data, whatever you are trying to tell the assist agent, particularly virtual agent. They are storing the data, and on behalf of that, they are providing you the results as well, the desired result that you are looking for. And if the virtual assistant believe that key, this is something which is out of the box, this question is not into my database itself, and I cannot analyze the data itself, then automatically within a fraction of second, the call have been routed to the desired agent itself, so that a better experience can be related over it. So this is how it was quite amazing for me, like now people have company organizations have started shifting to that particular technology as well, where the interaction of human is on the lower side, wherein the robots or the virtual assistants are working on the front side itself, which is itself, because
Right.
nobody wants to even as a customer, as a me, if I'll talk about, I don't want to get interacted with the support team every time. Rather than if I'll have an AI chatbot, AI driven chatbot, AI email bots, or voice assistants, I'll be happy to take help from those and get my issues sorted ASAP. The agent is to get the issue sorted. So I
Right.
believe the technology has advanced to that particular extent wherein you can easily believe that you don't have to interact with the support team until unless uh, AI or the machine learning is insufficient to answer your questions particularly. That is what I
Of
believe.
course.
And we
Of
have
course, that makes sense.
yeah. So
All right. All right. Great. So Navish, we would move to the next part of our discussion today to understand how the role of technology uh, is being utilized to establish deeper connections, right, with of course our customers and consumers,
mhm.
right? So, all right, I wanted to ask you a question. I think I missed it. Uh, okay, so I know we are a CRM company, right? I mean, here, LeadSquared is a CRM company, but I'm curious to understand about how you do things at Ncube, right? How do you use a CRM and a telephony system to enhance your customer interaction and provide a seamless experience?
So obviously, see, since CRM is always serves as a central repository of customer data, you know it very well.
Right,
Everything will be accumulated. All the customer data will be accumulated in CRM, and CRM makes all the actions into it. So particularly, if you take depending on the customer behavior, you are blasting the emails, you are calling the customer, you are capturing the data through different channels as well. So in short, you can say you are maintaining the customer's contact information, purchase history, preferences, and interactions by logs as well when integrated with the telephony system. So businesses can have a comprehensive view of the customer interaction across different communications as well, and communications and channels such as like phone calls, email, chat, and social media you can talk about. So this particularly gives us a realistic experience wherein all the things have been accumulated under the one umbrella, and you are accessing the entire data through a single platform itself. But yes, customer has a choice to interact through different channels, but agent knows from which channel this customer has interacted and what exactly the customer is looking for. So apart from it, uh, if you'll talk about the AI part, in that case, like if the customer is calling you up, so depending upon the customer behavior, the call will be routed to the desired desired agent who is more knowledgeable about that particular query, who can solve that particular query as well. this will reduce the
right,
this will reduce the wait time and improve the overall customer experience as well. So additionally, what happens is the screen pops up within the CRM can provide agents with relevant customer information as soon as the call is received, enabling the provide personalized and efficient experiences as well to the customer and to the agent as
right,
well, because agent will have the complete download which customer is calling you up and what exactly the information they were looking for. So this is how a, a CRM and a telephony can correlate with it particularly. But yes, a CRM has a lot more things to do with the communication platforms as well. But nowadays, what trend you can see in that particular thing is like the as I said, virtual assistance part is also there there in itself, wherein depending upon the customer behavior, customer needs, automatically the call will get routed to the desired agent itself, and that will reduce the call wait time as well, as I said earlier as well. Apart from
right,
CRM has a major role to play in terms of like nowadays what you will experience is like there are certain companies who makes the IoT part, IoT technology. They uses our IoT technologies, Internet of Things technologies as well. So what happens is, let's take an example in that case. Like let's take an example. You have a refrigerator, just an example, and that has an inbuilt IoT technology in it. So what happens is, let's take an example, the freezer part of it, the thermostat is not working properly, just an example. So
right,
automatically it will send the signal to the CRM company. CRM itself notifying that this is the issue that has been triggered into the particular refrigerator, and automatically you are pushing the notification to the customer itself ki your thermostat is not working. Kindly contact the service industry service team itself, or service team will get back to you shortly to get this address. So this is how the experience will get evolved in itself. So what happens is like, uh, customer do not have to keep an eye like, whether my system, my product is working properly or not. So it is the IoT part wherein the product is itself like doing the things for the customer itself. That is what I
Right.
believe. Another part is the personalized experience that rightly said by you, like, if the customer, if the company's organization are taking the data from the customer itself, then automatically what happens is like, by accumulating the data, and then giving the best possible solution to the customer in terms of like, they have some sort of issues that were recurring, or they didn't. Maybe what happens is like, in the traditional days is, if I'll talk about, there was traditional selling as well, but now there is a lot more about the consultative selling, and none of the customer wants to get duped into it, like this is the salesperson and they came here to just to sell me out something, rather than customer nowadays demand a consultant rather than a salesperson. So the consultant responsibility is to give the desired product as per their requirement, by analyzing their needs, preferences, and the pain points itself. So that is how, if we deliver such kind of issues, such kinds of things, then we feel that uh, the CRM and the telephony plays a bigger role into it. So
Right.
obviously the omni channel that I have already discussed with you, like the integration between the CRM and the telephony system enables business to provide a seamless omni channel experiences as well. So this is something like, which is fruitful for any of the organization when they are interacting with the communication and the CRM itself. So that is always
Right.
added advantage for any of the organization, because they can keep an eye under the one umbrella, like what exactly happening with their sales productivity as well, how their customers are experiencing, how the revenue data is, how revenue data is looking into the CRM, since everything is interrelated, the communication part and the CRM part. So I believe that this is the best practice. Like, if any of the organizations having the CRM, they must go for the communication part, like the telecom communication, or it is any communication you can talk about, the voice or
Awesome.
the chat, or WABA, whatever it is. So to give
Right.
best possible experience, that is what I believe.
Right. Navish, mind sharing uh, with the audience which CRM do you use at MCube?
Mhm.
Mind sharing the name of the CRM that you use at MCube for our audiences here?
So basically, particularly use LeadSquared for our sales team as well, and we know like how LeadSquared has done a lot. How LeadSquared has done a lot of things that have changed like this complete sales cycle. In LeadSquared itself, it is very convenient. Either we use the mobile app or the web browser based app to update the records into the system, and to see like what exactly the status of that particular lead is, and what is the prospect, and when when it is going to get converted. Apart from it, there is a lot of automations and the task management system as well, that has been already been integrated with the LeadSquare, wherein let's take an example. At 12 o'clock, agent wants to do a follow-up, and he or she has already scheduled the task in it. So automatically, since this is the integrated solution with the telephony, so automatically at that particular moment, a call will be triggered from the telephony system to the CRM system itself. So that is how the follow-ups will not get missed in that particular case as well. So we have particular use case as well, wherein lot of the marketing activities leads comes into the LeadSquared, and that has already been integrated with Leads MQ. So what happens is like, the customer generally demands like, the whatever the leads that are coming through the digital marketing, or these are the organic leads, automatically the call should get triggered within 5 minutes to that
Right.
the agent and the customer itself. So this is how efficiently mcube and LeadSquared works upon. So there is no latency that we have generally seen into it. And apart from it, like the task management system that works beautifully in LeadSquared as well, wherein you get the reminder if you miss out any of the task itself. So there are multiple reminders that you can put in through automations as well. So there are a lot of scope of automation that we have generally analyzed in the LeadSquared as well, apart from
Right.
integration as well.
Nice. Thank you, Navish. For our audiences, I wanted to discuss on how do you ensure your customer connections are personalized and tailored to individual customers, right? Because there's something a lot of us face difficulty in tailoring the experiences due
Mhm.
to the sheer volume of customers and prospects that we deal with, right?
So absolutely. So it is always a challenging task for any of the organizations as well. This is not particularly about our organizations, and I'm sure that where there is a lot of call volume of the customers, then obviously it gets very difficult to take care of such kind of things. But still, since this is the advancement of the technology, wherein companies have started using the different channels, different omni channels platforms to interact with the customer to give them the tailoring offerings as well. So dedicated account managers are always be there into the system, where they keep on understanding the customer requirement. So it depends upon the
Right,
requirement as well. So, and apart from it, like the customers behavior, customers itself says look after, like this is something maybe we can look off, and then the account managers itself try to get deeper into the conversation with the customer to understand and ask some probing questions as well to understand, like what their challenges are, what their requirement is, what their pain points are, to uh, to to provide them the best possible fit for the customer. So
right,
obviously the tailoring offerings that we talk about is something that gives a good experience to the customer as well, because in that particular scenario we are working for the customer, we are working for the need of the customer, what is good for them. Because if we'll not now in current scenarios, if we'll not work on the personalized experience of the customer, then customer may look for the alternative solutions, although we have that particular solution. But since we have not worked upon their tailoring offerings that we talk about, or the tailoring made products, then they may go to the different vendors as well. So in this
right.
current scenarios, I believe that every sales rep or every account manager should be proficient enough to understand the needs of the customer, and accordingly they can act upon it particularly. So
Right.
that is what
Uh,
that
the idea here would be to leverage the data at hand, right? I mean, having a system like a CRM in place like LeadSquared
Hmm.
to gather and manage customer data, and which obviously, I mean, helps you track your customer interactions and preferences and purchase history, right? Which helps you and enables you to provide a more personalized experience, right? Uh,
Absolutely.
Implementing tracking mechanisms to capture customer behavior on your website, on your mobile app. So you understand customer preferences, right? And again, I mean, deliver personalized recommendations or target the right audience.
Absolutely correct. So ideally what happens is, like if the customer, if the CRM is having the AI capabilities, so automatically what kind of interaction the customer is having with the different channels as well. So automatically, depending upon the data analytics, or by data analysis, automatically system will generate the uh, rightful decision what exactly the customer is looking for, and how the sales rep or the account manager can help them out by communicating with the customer and trying to get the best possible result from the customer as well. That is the only way I believe, like without the help of the technology, I don't think nowadays it is possible to interact with each and every customer and try to do some probings for the customer as well. So it's
Right,
very difficult. So it's better that we know half of the things of the customer, and by probing with the customer, then we can dig out the deeper meanings, what exactly their requirement is, and that is something which is fruitful for the organizations as well. And that is something I believe, like, this is fruitful for the long term relationship of the customer as well, because they will foster loyalty and trust to the organizations as well. So that is what I believe.
Great, great.
Yeah. So Arbaz, I want to get back to something on we both mentioned before, data. How do we currently capture and analyze customer data to understand their needs and preferences?
How do we do it?
Yeah, how do you capture the data and analyze the customer data according to their preferences? Like, how do you act upon it?
How do we act upon it? All right. So, like we mentioned, right? I mean, we also use LeadSquared internally for our sales process, right? For our sales process, right? So we have integrations. Excuse me, just give me a moment. Just give me one moment. Sorry.
Yeah, just take your time.
I will add here that there are a lot of questions piling up. So yeah, as soon as we wrap up the Q&A, we can take up some questions from the audience. Or while I think Arbaz comes back, and I know he's been unwell. Navish, would you like to take some of the questions? Pragat here asks. Okay, so sorry, Arbaz is back. I will come back to you, Pragat. Let Arbaz answer this.
All right. I'm sorry. I've been unwell, but yeah. So Navish, we have developed a lot of integrations, right? And we have open and RESTful APIs, right? So whatever information, so of course, I mean, we collect all the information from landing pages, from forms, right? From we also have, we also understand the behavior of our customers, right? I mean, when they visit our website, we track their behavior, how much time they're spending, and on a particular page, right? Which pages they are visiting, right? So we capture these informations. When they submit a form, we ask them questions on wherever their interest lies. Sorry. I am sorry. Just give me one moment.
Yeah, sure, no issues.
Take up some questions from the audience for a bit. And then Arbaz, maybe after a break, you can come back. So Pragat's question, Navish, is what is the strategy? What strategy can one implement to get a reference from existing clients?
Come again, I didn't get you.
What strategies can one use or implement to get a reference from existing clients?
So see, as I said, that if you give the customer a personalized experience, so you are building the trust with the customer. So if you are interacting on a continuous basis, then automatically at some point of time you will feel that you will feel that that particular customer knows you very well, they trust you very well, they trust your product very well. So automatically when it comes to the referencing part, automatically if any of their friends or their customers are looking for any of the product related to any of the product, so automatically the name that will come into their mind itself is the person's name who has already pampered the customer for a very long time enough. So I think this is the best possible way that you can feel about, like, getting the more references. Because if you are delivering the right product to the customer, and just hold on. If you're giving the right product to the customer and delivering the best thing into the market, then obviously the after sales support, that is something which is very important for the customer as well. Then I believe, like, you will start getting the references automatically if you keep on interacting with the customer on a daily basis, or once in a week, or in a month itself. Then that is the impact that you are going to create with the customer. So the references is like the inevitable process. That is what I have believed, and in my practical instances as well.
Okay, Thank you. I think Arbas, back to you.
Yes, I think meeting customers' expectations, right? And probably, I mean, if you can exceed customer expectations, then you're building a trust and you're building a custom relationship who will go out there and you won't have to go to them and ask them for references. I mean, they will organically help you with references.
Absolutely.
All right. Uh, we have questions. Shivani, all right. We have a lot of questions coming in.
Yes, yes. I will just get into the questions for a bit. Arun's question is, and I think this is a question for most people out there, customers who don't respond to your calls or messages after discussing the product or commercials, or what strategies could be used here?
How do you handle customers who don't respond to your calls or messages after discussing the product or promotions, or what strategies could be used here? Uh, again, not very sure, but I don't think the customer is really interested or interested in the product or services that we're offering, right? Otherwise, I mean, so I don't think, I mean, we are able to create an impact on the customer if they stop taking your calls or responding to your emails or yeah. And otherwise, I mean, this is one of the most common reason why customers don't respond to calls and mails. The other could be that the POC is not the right decision maker, right? And of course, does not have the decision making authority to respond to the sales agent.
And on the other way, what I believe is like the sales rep has not uh, put the impact on the customer, like when it comes to the pitching the product itself. So impacting the customer is like more important, as if you ask me, like that is what I have generally seen. Like if I go somewhere and if I'm pampering the customer, I'm just understanding their requirements, I'm just giving them the right suggestions to the customer, trying to understand from the customer perspective what exactly their requirement is, what their pain points are, what their challenges are. Then I believe that we are building the relationship with the customer, and this is very very important. So if they do not want to take your product, that is fine, but I believe that over the SMS or over the call, if they want to reject your proposal due to some pricing issues or whatever it is, if it is due to the pricing issues, what I generally believe is like the customer will say to you like this: the pricing issue is on the higher side, Navish. If you can do something on it, or if your if that particular product does not suit their requirement, that is something different. But what I believe is that communication keeps on happening depending upon the interaction, first time interaction with the customer. That is what I believe. So I don't see a point like the customer will stop responding you. At some point in time, he or she will the customer will respond you definitely, if you have uh, put a right impact to the customer. In terms of knowledge as well, that is fine. That is earlier I said that consultative selling is very very important in recent days. So if you will act as a salesperson, there are high chances that the customer will stop responding to you. But if you'll respond as a consultant for the particular customer, then they will keep on talking to you. You are probing the customer itself, trying to understand their requirements and whatever it is. So customer feel that this is the person who can help me out to increase or to boost my revenue as well, or to help me out technologically as well, not in terms of like the product that we were selling, but apart from that as well. So knowledge is something that is everybody should have, apart from your product as well, your competitors knowledge, your like though we are not into the CRM, but CRM knowledge is must for every salesperson, so that if by chance the customer asks for the knowledge of CRM as well, then we know what exactly the role of CRM is, and we can guide them particularly. So that is how we can build the trust with the customer. So that I think the point is clear to Arun, I guess.
Yeah, and the next question is along the same lines as you said. Everyone should be informed about what a CRM does. So Dr. Vivek has a question. He says, please distinguish between B2C and B2B type customer data and interactions and the relevant CRM.
Okay, I'll take that up, Shubhani. So, B2C, business to consumer, B2B, business to business, right? And so B2C is more focused on targeting an individual. B2B, of course, I mean, there are a lot of decision makers, right? I mean, not just generally, there are multiple decision makers. In a B2C setup, the decision maker is mostly an individual, right? B2B companies, they target a smaller, more specific customer base, right? I mean, consisting of businesses and organizations and professionals, right? Uh, Again, decision making in a B2C setup is usually shorter and simpler, right? I mean, because the purchase decisions are mostly made by individual consumers. And in a B2B setup, uh, B2B interaction, right? I mean, more complex decision making is involved. Multiple POCs are involved, multiple stakeholders, and multiple stakeholders are involved and require consensus within the business, right? I mean, what is good for the business and what is not, right? So these information and data, right? I mean, of course, I mean, if I talk about, we spoke a lot about personalization. So, I mean, the personalization focus in a B2B is on an individual level, right? So we try to understand the consumer preferences and behaviors and probably demographics to offer personalized product or services, right? Or to run any promotional campaigns or experiences that we want to give to our consumers. Whereas, on the other hand, when it comes to B2B uh, interaction, the focus is on an account level, right? Considering factors such as the size of the business, the industry, and business needs in that particular sector, right? And that's pretty much it. What I understand in terms of the basic B2C and B2B type customer data that we hold. The relevant CRM, of course, LeadSquared. No questions about it. I'll be very upfront and honest and blunt.
Okay. Okay. Navish, if you'd like to add, or should I just move on to the next question?
Uh, we can move on to next question, I guess. Like most of the things like Arbaz have already described. So I think I am in line with Arbaz itself.
Okay, then I'll let you go first on this one. So Ravi says, what approach of customer engagement do you recommend for a domestic SMB where they look for exceptional services but are budget friendly when it comes to commercials?
That's the
I know.
that's a common challenge that I mean we also face. And honestly, Navish, you want to add anything to this?
Essentially,
Because
Navish is asking, how do you deal with the price issue? I think.
So I understand that. So see, if there is a lot of difference in the price issues, that I don't think any of the organization, any of the company, or any of the salesperson can do anything in that case. But yes, if there is like a little difference in the price margins, like what the customers expectations are and what we are delivering, then I am pretty much sure if the product is good, if the after sales support services are good, then and if they are getting the revenue by onboarding that particular product itself, then I believe that the customer should not look after the price constraints, rather than go for it, so that because just to just to boost up the revenue part particularly. So in which context the question has been asked in terms of revenue, if you're talking about, then I guess this is what I can look for. particularly. And
I think domestic SMB, domestic SMB is a price sensitive market, and when it comes to commercials, obviously, I mean, there will always be someone offering lower commercials than what you offer, right? And this will always be the case, right? So rather than focusing on the commercial or cost aspect of things, uh, I would suggest, I mean, focus on the value addition, right? And informing and explaining the consumer the value that they can expect, right? And the services that they can expect, right? I think, I mean, more often than not, if you're able to provide or if you're able to help the customer or consumer understand the value that you'll be adding, more often than not, it's a win-win.
absolutely correct, Arman.
Okay, so Arun wants to know your secrets. He's asking, what are the strategies you use to win a competition or replace the competitor?
I will take that up personally with Arun, I guess. I'll call you up, Arun.
Yeah, okay.
We'll have a discussion on it. Yeah.
Okay, and then there were a few other. Sorry, Navish, I think you were going to respond.
No, that's fine. I didn't hear the question properly. That is the reason I didn't respond on it.
He's asking for your trade secrets. How do you beat the competition? What are the things you say? What are the strategies you use? So
So basically, there is no trade secret behind it. If you have a good knowledge about the industry, and if you are self-confident enough, and you are outspoken in sharing the knowledge itself to the customer, then I think this is the best way to crack the customer. That is what I believe. Because if you're not having the knowledge, if you're not confident enough in sharing the knowledge as well, then how the customer is going to retain trust on you, that is the prime factor. If you have the good knowledge, if you have the industry knowledge, if you have the competitor knowledge as well, if you have the other prospective knowledge as well, and you are confident enough, and you are outspoken, the last thing, then I believe, and you are trying to work for the customer, you are trying to give them the solution which is good for the customer by providing them the value addition for proposing that particular product, then I think you can win the deal. That is what I believe.
okay,
Right.
we are close to closing time, so I will ask two more questions. Ravi's question again: which scenarios would you recommend call-based customer engagement as against AI chatbots? So, any examples that come to mind where I think you can go with specific calling, or you're okay with having a chatbot or AI service do that?
So, which scenarios you would recommend call-based customer engagement as against? So, it depends. It depends on the customer whether it is into B2C or B2B. So, ideally, what happens is in when we talk about B2C, B2C generally prefers like if they have a not much issue in it and they want to just inquire something about it, and then I think chatbots is the best suitable fit for them as well. But if they would want to interact with the detailed knowledge, detailed issues, then I guess virtual assistants can help them out in a more refined way as well. Because right now what we have seen that like the virtual assistance agents, they generally hear your complete sentence, and on behalf of that particular analysis, they give you the best possible answers for it. So that is what I believe. Chatbots is for like just for the basic question set of questions that you want to understand, like where I can find that, where I can find this. So, and for the virtual assistants, you can have your complete sentence, what exactly your grievances or what exactly your issues is, so that the virtual assistants can collect the data, best possible data for you, and just give you the best possible answers for you. If you're not satisfied with it, immediately virtual assistants can transfer the call to the desired agent who can solve your query instantly. So this is how we can utilize the both the products.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, there are a handful of questions, so I think we can quickly take up all of them. Uh, Please feel free to ask for more information if you think you need it. So, Rajesh wants to know how to measure the target audience for a niche product. Would you like more details on what the product is? Navish, Arbaz?
I think so. Yeah. Let's take it offline.
Sure. Okay. The next one is about from Raja Lakshmi. How can we get more responses through email, and what should the content be like?
A lot of personalization, being specific and being sending out personalized content. I think be that should hold you in good.
Okay, Navish.
Yeah, absolutely. For the email marketing, a lot of personalization is required. The content that can hit the target audience, that is more realistic. So that is how we can do the email marketing campaigns.
Sure, and I think Raja Lakshmi, I'll add to that. If you're specifically asking for feedback, what we have seen is that if you have a survey form with very precise questions, it works best. So, you don't expect people to share too much about what their grievance might be, but if you have a survey form linked to that campaign with very precise questions related to how they're using the software, then that should get you the response you need. Then I will move on to, I think, what appears to be the last question. So, this is Jayan's question. What emerging trends or innovations do you foresee in the CRM space that will further enhance customer connections?
Right. I think artificial intelligence technologies such as machine learning uh, are being integrated into CRM systems, right? AI powered chatbots and virtual assistants can offer personalized support and assistance to the customers, right? Of course, there's omni-channel integration, right? Uh, integrating with a lot of communication channels, including social media and chatbots, live chat, probably, our telephonies, right? Cloud telephonies, voice assistants. Uh, I think, these integrations allows for a seamless experience across different communication mediums and different touch points, right?
Absolutely. So,
That's
in
yeah.
addition to it, what generally the trends that we are going to see in near future as well, like the voice assistants in the CRM part, wherein they don't need to type any command on it. They can virtually say it, and automatically it will give you the best possible result for you. The other part that you can talk about is like when it get integrated with the telephony system, then you can assume that the recorded voice that generally we send to the CRM, automatically it will be converted into a transcript into the CRM itself for the data analysis, and on behalf of that, a sentiment analysis can be analyzed on the basis of the customer experience, and this is how you can see what is the behavior of the customer is. So I think there is a lot of advancement that we are going to see in the near future in the CRM part, particularly in terms of technology. So there are a lot of improvement that is going to be, there's a lot of space into it, particularly when we talk
Right.
about technology part.
Okay, awesome. I don't see any new questions coming in, so it's a time to wrap up the session. I would probably say, Navish, Arbaz, if you have any closing thoughts for the audience on why they should sort of, opt for a telephony or CRM solution, now is the time. We will let you go first, Navish.
So particularly, what I believe is CRM and the cloud telephony works hands on hands. If any of the thing is missing, then I don't think the job is done for the customer. So it's better for the full-fledged customer experience. If you're talking about for the data analytics insights, then you need a communication part which integrated with CRM, which is going to handle the complete metrics for the agents as well. What exactly your agents are doing, how productive your agents are, and on the contrary, how the particular profile, customer profile is working on it. How, what is the prospect of the customer profile? How when or how soon it get closed enough. So these are the things which works hands on hands. So I think like uh, if any of the thing is missing, I think like there is a gap in the productivity of the customer or the productivity of the agent, if any of the thing is missing, because both is necessarily required.
Yeah. Arpa?
Right. Yeah. So a CRM helps you gather and manage your customer data, right? I mean, we spoke a lot about personalization and building customer relationships, right? And having a CRM and a cloud telephony or a communication medium, right, helps you build customer relations, right? I mean, of course, it's not the only thing that will help you build customer relations, but it will effectively uh, boost your relationships with your consumers and your clients, right? And I I think with MCube and LeadSquared, I mean, we use MCube for our calling processes. MCube uses LeadSquared for their CRM use case, and a lot of our clients, right? A lot of my clients use MCube, and we have seen a great experience of services and great experience of integration, right? So yeah, I mean, if you're looking at building stronger customer relationships, I mean, if you don't have a CRM, do reach out to us. If you're looking out for a cloud telephony communication channel, reach out to Navesh.
Thank you so much, Arvind,
Okay.
for
Yeah.
considering us.
Okay, thank you so much to the team at MCube and LeadSquared for putting this out, and to the audience for staying around and asking all of those amazing questions. We will send you the recording soon, and hopefully, we will be able to put a post together with all of the insights that we've gathered today. Thank you so much, Naveesh. Thank you so much, Arbaz, for your time. We will close for the day now.
Thank you so much, Shivani, for your
Thank
time.
you, Shubhani. Thank you, Navesh. Thank you, everyone.
Bye bye.
Take care.
Bye bye.